Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
That was so fun. All right, so hi everybody. I'm Jessie. I'm the host of the Positively You podcast. It is a podcast that airs every single Tuesday, so there's a new episode live today. And I have so much fun, and I'm excited to talk with Andy today. Andy, who are you?
I, who am I? That's a very loaded question, right?
Isn't it really?
I am Andy Goosen. I started, maybe I will, a blog back in like 2013, all about helping people to live their best life, being the healthiest, happiest, most joyful version of themselves. And that's what I do. I really help people to get rid of limiting beliefs and really step into the full potentiality of who they can be. That's like my little soapbox. That's what I do.
That's amazing. You know that I'm totally all about that. Everything with like your
Yes.
mindset and all of the shifts. So, um, I know that you wanted to go live this week because you've got something super fun and special coming up next week that you're doing.
Yes, I am so excited. This has really been something I've been working on for quite a while. It has been a labor of love, but it is going to be a 3-day live event challenge, if you will, where I really will guide you through looking at what your story is. What have you created in your life? A lot of us, me especially, I went through most of my life having no idea that I had control over my life and that I could create the life that I wanted to live. My life was total chaos. My relationship wasn't awesome. My body was not healthy. I didn't have any confidence in myself, and it showed in all areas of my life. And so I really became a woman on a mission to figure out how to change my life. And how that came to be is I learned that I had control. If I could create all this crap in my life, which I did a fantastic job at, I could flip that and I could learn how to create a life that honored me, that was fun, that was joyful, that was what I wanted. And through the last 10 years, I really have been able to begin and create a process so I can help people do the same. So these 3 days we'll do that. We'll look at your story, what have you created, and then we'll look at what you want to create going forward. And then we're going to talk a lot about one of my biggest things that it stands in a lot of way in the way of a lot of people, and that is blocks. And
Blocks,
blocks
for sure.
are crazy because you do not know you have them.
Yeah.
And they are these lies and these truths that you believe about yourself that are absolutely not true. And then when we can figure out what those are and we can identify them, the good news is you program them to believe that they were true. We can then deprogram them to let them go and then to move forward and not let them control your life anymore. So that's what these 3 days are going to be about. I am like so excited to do this. It's something that I have been told through meditation and through receiving inspiration that this is something I had to do, and I was I let my own fears and my own insecurities stop this from going down for quite a while. So
I love that. Well, I don't love that, but I love
it's just part of being a human, right? We let our own fears control
exactly.
us for so long, and finally we're like, no, it's not going to happen anymore.
Exactly. It's so funny because, like, yeah, you can look at people like you and like me who, and anyone who, seemingly has it together, quote
Right.
unquote. But there's always a backstory. There's always all these things. And so it's like, I'm digging this, but you don't know, like, all the background. Like, how long has that little voice in your meditation been telling you this? And how long have you had those, like, things? I had a conversation earlier this week of someone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you have a podcast. I want to do one. How? And I was like, I sat on that idea for 2 whole years.
Right.
Believing all of these lies and these limiting beliefs and these blocks, exactly like what you're saying, until finally I was like, hold up, like, what am I telling myself? And it's so incredibly right about your mindset that it is
Absolutely.
so, we give so much, credit or so much power to all of these outside circumstances or, what's going on in the world or who I'm surrounded by or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, actually, it's all up here.
It's all there.
Yeah.
We are so good about giving our power to everyone else and not standing in our own power.
Yeah.
And when we can stop listening to all these experts tell us what we should do and start really listening to ourselves and our own inner guidance, that's when the real magic happens. And you really start to do make these shifts, and you allow the idea of a podcast to come in, or doing this challenge
Yeah.
to come in, and you take action. And that's
Exactly.
the
And
magic.
when you can get that magic and harness that magic, you're not only changing your life, but you're changing other people's lives. And you're making an impact to other people. And it's like, I don't know, it's not selfish, I guess is the word I'm not looking for. But it's like,
Yeah,
don't keep that locked inside yourself because of these
right.
blocks that you're filling. Like, there's good that you can put out, and it might not
Absolutely.
be on like an Oprah Winfrey type level, okay?
No,
But
nor would
like,
I really want to.
no, like there's a lot that goes into that. But it's like, you don't know, you could change one life, and then
And
that
it's
one
going to
life could
happen.
change one life. And it's like, you could either believe these crazy limiting beliefs and blocks in your head, or you can start getting intentional. You can start telling yourself these things. And so I'm so excited about your Rewrite Your Life program event that you're doing next week, because it's just kind of that, you don't need permission, but like, here's your permission, here's your tools, here's kind of like,
Really building out
check it.
yeah, like it's really giving you the tools to change the trajectory of your life. So my whole goal with this 3 days is to really get you on the path to creating that life that honors you and that you're excited about, that you wake up and you're, because like I have to say this, there's nothing special about me.
There is, but
Anyone can do what I'm doing. And
yeah,
we're all magical. We're all like, we all have these amazing gifts. And the idea is just waking up to those and taking ownership of those and using those to bless the lives of others.
yeah,
If I can
exactly.
do this, believe me, if I can do this, anyone can do this. And I want to help people to find whatever that is, their passion, their calling in life, to find what that is and to have faith and courage to move forward with it. Because we all have that something within us that we were placed on this earth to do.
Yeah,
And there are people who need to hear our voice, especially. There's just a connection there, and they need to hear it from you. Someone
yeah,
else can be saying the exact same thing, but it's going to hit differently because
from
your
you.
voice is going to be what they need to hear.
For sure. And it's kind of funny when you were saying like everyone was put on this earth, for what, for not one thing, but for a purpose and a
For
reason.
purpose.
And you have something, and sometimes that can feel a little overwhelming. Especially I know like when we're lost in motherhood. I have 3 kids. Do you have 3?
I do have three, but mine
Okay,
are older,
that's what I
so
thought.
I'm like in this sweet spot in life where like I kind of am getting my life back a little bit,
Yes.
so it's not as controlled as it used to be. So
My
it's kind of,
youngest is 5, and so I'm getting to that sweet
you're
spot. But
getting there.
I think it's really interesting though, because you hear this all the time, right? From wherever of, you have a reason you're here and blah blah blah, and you can just feel like, okay, is my reason, what is it? I don't know. Like, that might seem overwhelming
Yeah,
to be like, well, maybe everyone else does, but I don't. And so one of my big things with mindset is to, yeah, have a big vision, like have a big goal, but
yeah,
then rein it back, because that can feel really overwhelming. And then that's where your blocks come in, like, well, who am I to, have this or whatever. And so it
absolutely.
really, for me, is starting way small, like small, small, small. If you follow me for any second at all, you know that I am really, really big on you make your bed every single day.
Oh,
And that
I
was
love
actually
that. I love that concept. I
my
have
New
been a
Year's
believer of that
resolution.
concept for a very long time. So
Yeah,
absolutely, we're on the same page with that.
yes. But like that, like it was 3 or 4 years ago where I was making New Year's resolutions, and that was literally my New Year's resolution was I'm gonna make my bed every day. And I was like, wow, dream big, Jess.
I like it.
But that one thing set the tone for
It's
my
that
day and
first
for my
win in
life.
the morning, and it's powerful
Yeah,
because it's one
it's
win,
so
and
powerful.
then it's easier to tackle that next win. So yeah,
Yeah.
making your bed is
And so it's
powerful.
just something simple, like just go very, very small. If it's, I want to make more friends, it's like smile at someone today. Or like I don't even know, but to take that big vision and then bring it down small so that you're not so overwhelmed, so that you
Right.
can tackle those blocks and those limiting beliefs, because those limiting beliefs will come when you are shooting super big. But if you can
Right.
rein it down and start smaller, you're going to really set yourself up for success. So that's like my huge like mindset thing is like dream big, but start small.
Right. Because those big dreams come by taking those small steps.
For sure.
And it's consistency, and it's waking up and showing up for yourself every day. And those things will come, but like it starts small.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone is put on this, I believe everyone has this innate gift to bring to the world and share with the world. And sometimes that's really small, and that's okay. Sometimes it's maybe just raising the best kids ever. Like, or maybe it's just keeping your kids alive.
Yeah.
You know, like we all
Well,
have these, like it doesn't have, like I think sometimes we put so much pressure on having this purpose
yeah.
that it can be daunting. And sometimes that purpose, that calling within our heart is just small. It's just being kind to neighbors. It's starting a community, you know, it doesn't like, but the biggest thing I can give to everybody is just go within.
Exactly.
Get quiet and listen. And that's when you'll start to see those small steps of what your next step should be.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I was just going to say that. Like, you get overwhelmed too, right? Like, what if my purpose isn't this huge grand thing? And it's like, well, just start with these things and it will unfold to you. And you will
Yes.
start feeling like, you'll start feeling like yourself. You'll start owning it and you'll feel good and you'll notice the little changes that you're making in someone's life, in someone's world. And like you said, it could just be raising the best kids ever. But by raising the best kids ever, as if they see you as someone who is enjoying their life, who is happy, who, you know, is fulfilled with the
Yes.
things that they're doing, that's going to help
That's a
raise them.
huge
You
gift
know,
to give
it
your
doesn't
children.
exactly
That's a huge,
because,
a happy mom who is
yeah,
comfortable in her own skin and in her own body. That's powerful.
yes,
That's a powerful gift to give to your children.
yeah. And totally, you know, it goes back, it starts with that mind. It starts with that mindset of, you know, there can be crap going on. Hi, 2020 world that we just got out of. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, but you get to make the decision every single day, every single minute, even. You don't have to wait for the next day to be like, you know, sometimes you do. Sometimes you're just like, let's just close out today, have a new day tomorrow. But like,
Right.
you have the
We all
power
have
each
days
and
like
every
that.
time to decide if you're going to stay in crap or if you're going to be like, you know what, this was a fun little pity party we're having today, but let's move on.
Right. So that's the power of creating. Like, there are going to be external things that we can't control, COVID, but we are 100% in charge of how we respond to that.
Yeah.
And if we can have that be, I've seen friends go both ways, like where it has just been their lives are total crap. Everything is, they're blaming everything in their life on COVID.
Yeah.
Or there's people who are like, you know what, this was one of the best years of my life because I was able to go inward and I had the time to make some big changes in my life. So it's like everything, you can look at it in two ways, and it's completely in your power to decide how you want to handle any given situation.
Exactly. I think one of the big things that I learned over last year and previous years too, going into that, is asking yourself really good questions.
Oh, so important.
Like, okay, this sucks, but like, is there anything good? What is it? Where is it? How can I make it good? Like, what can I learn from this? How is this making me stronger? Like,
Right.
asking yourself questions and kind of dive. That's why journaling is like so awesome,
Uh,
which I say that, but I'm terrible at journaling. But for those,
oh, I am journaling is power. That's another thing I teach within my programs is journaling to get answers, free journaling, allowing thoughts to flow through you through your journaling process.
yeah,
Connecting with your guides through journaling. There's some really cool stuff you can do with journaling. So that's super powerful as well. Yeah, like it's just one of the biggest things I always ask myself when I'm in those pity parties or I'm feeling a little negative, which I'm human. We all
we
have
all
those
do.
moments.
Yeah,
We can't all be at a 10 all the time. Like as
no,
much as I would love to do that, I'm not always at 10. There's some days where I'm like, it's just not happening. But what I can do is I can ask, what can I be grateful for in this moment? And maybe
yeah,
it's grateful because I do need a day of rest. I've been pushing really hard. And I need to lay in my bed and watch Netflix or whatever it is that I just need a day off, and I need to be okay with that and be grateful that my body told me I need that time.
yeah.
And to take it and be grateful for it.
And to be grateful that you're in a place that you're like noticing these things, right? You're getting out of, because a lot of times we can be like needing to go all the time. 10, 10, 10. I need to be at a 10. I need to be go, go, go. I need to have that badge of busyness, telling me that I'm
Oh, I
worthy
hate
or
the badge
whatever.
busyness.
Oh,
There are a couple of people in the self-help group that they are very well-meaning and they have done so much good, but they've done some detriments because they have made us think that we need to push harder and harder and harder and hustle, 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 hustle. Where you're working against yourself at that point
yeah,
because you're pushing yourself so hard that you're not getting quiet, you're not listening, you're not getting that help that is so ready to be given to you because you're pushing
exactly.
so hard.
Exactly. One of the things that I am really big on is I'm anti-extreme. I'm not a huge fan of like polar over here, black and white. I like to live in the area of, life is a full experience. We're going to
Amen.
experience all of it. And that's what it's about. And so if I'm over here today, like that's cool. That's where I'm at today. And like I've got this whole other area that I'm going to bounce around from all the time. And any place is fine. It just is a different place. There's not, if you're having a day where you need rest, it's not a bad day. You're just having
No.
a day where you need rest. And I think it's so important for your mindset to be able to get to that kind of place where you're able to just accept
Oh,
things as they are and not label
right.
them as like, this was a waste of a day. No, it wasn't.
Right. Because they're
Like,
just as important as your push days where you're able to get a lot done. There's some days where like I can take on the world and I'm getting stuff done. I'm on 10. But
yeah,
that's not every day. And that's
yeah,
okay. And when I allowed myself the grace to not always have to push so hard and to be grateful for those days where I didn't feel like that I wasn't at a 10, there was a lot of growth there for me personally
yeah,
because I would get these low days and I would just be kicking myself like, why can't you do it? Like, and I would just berate myself because I was being a sloth or I was being lazy. And that really wasn't really what it was. It was just sometimes you just need a day.
yeah, exactly.
And
Sometimes you just
that's
need a day.
okay. Just need a day.
Yeah. So I think I don't know, there's so much here about just, getting to know yourself a little bit and being able to have
Yes.
that grace and all these things. So I don't know. It's all good. All good things. But I did want to kind of ask you a little bit about just your Rewrite Your Life. So it's a 3-day event.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who wants to join in, you totally should. I'm already signed up. I'm super excited
Yay!
about
I saw that you
it.
did. I'm so excited.
I mean, anything about like, I'm all there for it.
I'm
So
there for it. Right.
do you want to give just like a quick like overview for anyone who's like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to see what this is. Like, it's three days
Three
online.
days.
It's not
It
like it's like a
starts
thing to go
next
to.
Monday.
Okay.
So we'll be starting Monday. And like if you're like, oh, like how 3 days, that seems like so much. It's really we're meeting for an hour live on a Zoom call, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and it'll be 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to 11 o'clock. I tend to chat, so it might be a little bit longer, but I'm planning for an hour.
Okay.
I'm there for you, so it'll be very interactive. It's Zoom, so you can have your camera on or camera off. I really love seeing faces, so I hope people want to pop on live so I can make eye contact and
Yes.
answer questions as they come up. You'll have workbooks. This is not like a hear Andy preach at you for an hour, 3 days. This is very interactive. So you'll have worksheets that you'll fill out. You'll have practices that we're going to go through as we look at what you've created in your life. We'll be doing some powerful meditations to help you get a little bit more insight and kind of show you kind of how to connect to get those answers, because it's connecting to light and to source is a little bit different. And I want to kind of guide people through that process so they can get comfortable with it and getting that alignment so those answers can come in. It is a little woo-woo, so just a little preparing there.
Love it.
I am all woo. I've got my crystals everywhere. I am
Yes.
woo-woo, so be prepared for that. And then on the second day, we'll go ahead and we'll work on creating. Again, workbooks will be live. I will be bringing people on call. If they have questions, we can do some live coaching right there on there. This is very, very interactive. And then again and then again, we'll be doing some meditations, just the calm, kind of show you some practices for creation, some different manifesting tools I've used that have been super, super beneficial and trying to think of the word. They work, okay?
They're awesome.
After 10 years, they work and they work quickly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I'll show you those tools for manifesting this life that you want to create for yourself. And then on the third day, that's when we're really going to do, okay, so this is where you're at currently. This is where you want to go. Here's how we move forward. And we build that kind of that map, that trajectory for you. And then we kind of talk about, okay, so you're here and this is where you want to go. What blocks are causing you to stay here and not go here?
Yeah.
And that's kind of, we'll have some conversations with that. Again, live coaching, if people want to come in, I can kind of walk them through how to maybe identify some of the blocks. That's one thing when you work with me in coaching, I'm really good about helping you find those because I have been very good about finding them in myself. And I find them in the most surprising places. And I find them in some really cool ways that as I do meditations, blocks come a lot to me in dreams. So I'll kind of teach you how to identify these when your subconscious is trying to speak to you.
Very cool. I am so excited. The fact, like, this is jam-packed.
It is. It's a lot of value. And the best part is it's all free.
Exactly. Like, I cannot believe you're doing this for free. I'm like jaw on the floor. This is so, so, so good. So sign up, go get in there.
Go
Let's
to
rewrite your life.
my profile, and there's a link in the bio. And the first link, when you click on that link in bio, is to sign up for my program. It'll take you to a page. You just put in your email address, and all the details, all the workbooks, all the reminders will be sent right to your inbox.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm all about this. My whole thing is like creating a life you're obsessed with. So rewriting your life with Andy, this is going to be fantastic. I've loved talking to you today. This has been so fun.
We could probably do this again. This was way fun.
We do need to do this again.
I feel like we have so many things in common. So I think
so many things. So yeah, let's do this again for sure. Everyone listening, have an amazing day. Go make it good. Go make your bed if you haven't. And thank you guys.
Okay, see ya. Bye-bye.